dad was a very cool guy, very cool, quiet. He loved music. That is where my love for music started. He cooks. He even cooks for me. You do? My name is Esther Musila Omwaka. I am a wife, a mother. I'm an international civil servant, having worked now with the UN for the past 21 years. I actually celebrated my 21 years, 7th of August. I grew up in Nakuru. Both my parents worked in Nakuru. My dad was a statistical analyst. He worked for Eveready Batteries. My mom worked for Special Branch. If you know Special Branch, those days they were feared. You know, me and my parents, I think they were Muzungus of that time. We were only two. Me and my brother, who we are 11 months apart. We are like twins. So my parents got married in 1969, August. And my mother tells me that she conceived me on her wedding day, because I was born exactly 9 months after her wedding. So I'm the firstborn. And then my brother came 11 months later. So we are 11 months apart. So we have grown up like twins. Mrs. Musila. My mom being, first of all, she was a teacher. And then she worked for the Special Branch. And you know Special Branch, those days we knew Special Branch are like spies. So in our neighborhood, we knew, even before you made a mistake, my mother would know. You know, because we believed Special Branch were spies. They could read your mind, whatever crime it is that you want to do, or whatever, anything fishy that you want to do, she already knew. So in my neighborhood, everyone feared my mom. My mom was tough. My dad was a very cool guy, very cool, quiet. He loved music. That is where my love for music started. My dad had a music system. God, I can't remember what it is, but we still have it. And I remember we had speakers, 4 huge speakers. So everybody in the neighborhood knew, if you guys want to hang, just come and listen to music, have fun. It was Musila's house. My dad loved his music so much that you could not touch. You know, so he taught us, instead of, you know, those parents who will lock up things and say you can't touch, he would show us, because we had, during that time, this generation, I don't think you have experienced the turntables, where you have the singles and the albums. So my dad taught us how to use that system so that you don't scratch his records. So he allowed us that. My dad's love for music was exceptional, because every album or every single he bought, he had a book where he would write. And we came across those things. We still keep them. And our love for music, me and my brother, started from there. Went to primary school in Nakuru. Then I did the old system, which is the 742. So after CPE, that's what we used to call it. I was called to a school in Lugari, Bishop Njenga. I went there for 1 term. Why? Hey, it was a different world for me. I mean, you know, being in day school, and then life there was hard. So after first term, when I went back home, I told my dad, I'm not going back to that school again. So he had to find me a school. So I ended up all the way opposite side in Kitui. where I did my O level. And then immediately after my O level, I didn't want to go to Form 5 and 6, because we had the Form 5 and 6 that time. But I think for me, I really wanted to be independent very early. So I thought if I started my career early, then I would have my career early. And then now, I used to say at 28, that is when I'll have my kids, But I first wanted to make money. So during the last term of my fourth form, I applied to a college. And not that I wanted to do secretarial, but the fact that I knew if I applied to Kianda, which was a very prestigious college, I was assured of a job. So I applied. I didn't tell my parents at all. And then when the results came out, my dad, I had passed very well. I had missed Division 1 those days by 2 points. So I would have gone to even a national school. Sorry for my bad manners, but yeah. So when the results came out, my dad is expecting me to go to Form 5 and 6. And I said, I am not going. Like, why? I said, I have been admitted to a college in Nairobi, Kianda. I want to go and study secretarial. But my dad is like, but you didn't even do any of that in your studies. I said, it's okay, I'll learn. And those days it was typewriters, so you can imagine. But I was like, it's okay. So, sorry. So for 18 months, I did the secretarial, graduated. My mom found me my first job, which was at a farm called Mare Limited. It dealt with agricultural products. So what we used to do in the morning, as my dad drops my mom to work, we go together. So I stayed there for 6 months. And then I felt that money was kidogo, because I think I used to earn 3,000. But 3,000, yes, but 3,000 was a lot of money in '89, So my mom told me, from today on, you will buy milk in this house and bread. So at least I had some spare money. Then worked there for 6 months. Then I decided, no, Nakuru was kidogo, It wasn't the place. I needed more adventure. So I started applying for jobs. Then, and what I used to do, my days, we used to have something called a directory, telephone directory with all those numbers. So what I did, I took a directory. So in a directory, if you see the bold companies, those are companies that are big. So I applied. I had, I think, 100 applications. Then one day I receive a call and I'm told, we have seen your application. How did you know about this company? I said, I didn't know. I just saw it in the directory and I applied. So I was told to come for an interview. And by that time, it was somewhere on the Nairobi highway. But when I got there, I had a friend of mine. I told her, take me. So when I went to this place, I'm looking at it and this is State House, So we asked and we were told to go to the next gate. So I went to the next gate and we met somebody there. And he told me he received my application and when am I ready to start the job? So I said, immediately. I think I've just been lucky with my jobs. It was, somebody had gone on maternity. So I was a maternity replacement for 3 months. So when I was asked, do you mind taking the job for 3 months? I was like, no, it's okay. So I started working. So the first job I did was in monitoring and evaluation, and you can see all these jobs, it's nothing I have studied for. You know, in Canada I did secretarial and business administration. And then again during that time when I was home for 4 years, I even enrolled to do a course in the university which never started off. So getting into the UN, I'm doing monitoring and evaluation. So everything I did, I learned on the job. You know, it's not like I had studied it. So after some time, I moved from monitoring and evaluation. Then after the 3 months, the lady who I replaced resigned. So what happens? Esther gets the job. And then after that, I moved on now to another section, partners and youth, where I was dealing with youth. We had a youth fund. So I interacted a lot with the youth and traveled to give them funds. So that was a good time of my career. Then again, I moved into water and sanitation. So I've been through the UN system in different sections, and everything I have done, I have learned on the job. You know, just enrolling in courses, and because now I'm in program management, so I do a lot of budgets. So you see, sometimes I keep thinking, whatever it is that we learned in school, it's just like mathematics. All those algorithms, sijui, square root, I've never used any of those in my life. So I think I've just been lucky that I have managed to rise through the ranks, through hard work also, and training on the job, and being able to want to do new things, you know. So yeah, that has been my career. I think this one now, because it has also enabled me to travel to very many countries where I mean, who would have known, why would have I gone to China to do what? I've been to China, I've been to Brazil, I've been to Nepal, you know, that's my last project. I've been to Canada, you know, so it has enabled me to travel. I've been to Nigeria, you know. So I think the UN for me has been my best job. 21 years is not a long time. It's not a short time. It's a long time. And soon I'm looking to retire, probably in the next 5 years. And I'll be retiring and enjoying my money. I want to enjoy my money when I'm still young.